I came to church here, and we can pray with our mind still on Jesus. You know, when you got nobody but Jesus, all you got to do is just what? Call Jesus. Yes, right. Call him up. But this morning, I don't want to put this fire. We brought it in here. He said, God was already here. But what he did, he just take him a little bit and let him come on in here. Now, when he come in, what he said, when he show up, always a what? All right. And he been showing out on the song, everything he began to show out. You know, as he began to show out, that kind of makes me feel good. Like I want to teach us a little bit. I don't go too far, but I want to teach us a little bit because if they can show out, it looks like I would be able to show out a little bit with my teaching. So we want to keep this thing going and keep showing out with this one. You know, when you show out with him, you can show out with him. Nobody else can show out with him. You can show out with him. As we took last week, we talked about Matthew again. We said Matthew. And we saw what Matthew tells us the form of prayer. Now, saying, you know, gave the framework. And you fill it in. So this morning, Deacon was filling in that prayer. Now, it said, the first thing I heard him say, he began with who? Our Father. Now, you give him his credit. And then you fill in the blanks. He did all that this morning. Listen to him. And you don't have to pray all day. No. You just need to pray from the heart. From the heart. You are ready this morning. That's what I like. And then as we begin to look at what we talked about this morning, this lesson here, and we continue with Matthew. And what's the first thing he tells us today? Stand up. When I looked at that, I began to let my mind run about and what it says, stand up. And you know, when you get to take the I say stand up. Some of us are taking this point. If this lesson said, stand up. And I came across my mind, I was looking around. We stand up for everything. When you go to court, what do they tell you to do for the jury to come in? Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. When you go to the football game, the first thing sit down, they get ready to do what they tell you. Get ready to play the next step, what you're supposed to do. Stand up. You know, how we set up the days like this there. Tell us what to stand up. But then, when we come here in God's house, you don't want to stand up. No. But you go everywhere else that tell you to stand up. And then you go to some churches when the preacher come in there tell you to stand up. What do? You stand up. Now, if you're not ashamed to stand up for man, but yet you're ashamed to stand up for God, so what is your bet? What should you place your emphasis? On man, on God? I place mine on God. Because man can tell you to stand up. If God said, you're not looking, what's going to happen? You're going to sit right there. Sit right there. So standing up for man, got his right. Where it said, we're going to honor the law of the land. But don't let the law of the land take control of the man. I kind of like that. The law of the land take control of the man. And that's what we do. We let the law of the land take control of the man. Who is the man? The man is who we're going to talk about this morning. I like that. So you know what? Another thing came to me before I get into this lesson. I just got to thinking and reading about something, and it's something that comes to me. So what came to my mind and said that it's been a whole week since we saw each other. And you know, it's been a whole week since we saw each other. Now, here's my question. It goes along with the subject. If God does something to you this whole week, stand up. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right now. All right. Now, I like it. We know God does something. Yes, bro. I thank you. It doesn't matter what happens. He brought us right back here. So that means we ought to do what? Stand up. Don't stand up for me. You stand up for God. Whatever problem you had this past week, look where you're at. Beginning of a new week. So that means I need to what? Stand up for God. This stand up. As we get into this lesson, I do believe that this man who wrote this lesson back, he had a purpose there. Now, when you get to the purpose, look at what he's saying, stand up. And when you look at that stand up, think about who he's talking about. We said last week, we talk about this person he's going to talk about today. I believe this person was born 6 months before Christ. I believe, and this person was born to a old man. I believe, am I right about that? And he came before Christ. They say he was a forerunner. He came before Christ. He took out this verse this morning. And then he's going to tell us we need to stand up. This person stood up for Christ. So why can't we stand up for Christ? When you begin to think about what it means to stand up for everybody else, but yet you don't want to stand up for Christ. The one who gave you life. The one who allowed you to come out one more time. The one who allowed you to be where you're at right now. So that means you ought to stand up for him. He's the one. We praise everybody else except God. This morning, we have praise coming in. This fire got the morning, sometimes this morning, it kind of touched me a little bit. So sometimes it kind of touches you. When God touches you, it's changing your life. He makes you feel better. Now, if you can get something this morning, you need to go back and listen to that old landmark because you have to get something. Whatever was on your heart, if you didn't get it this morning, you need to come on back one more time and see what's wrong because the lesson tells us we need to stand up. That prayer this morning, the service this morning, let us know that we need to stand up. And as we begin to look at this lesson where I said, stand up. And I thought about the first thing it tells us, it said, an unparalleled witness. Oh, so, as I look at this lesson, I see a little English in this lesson. I see a little math in this lesson. And then I said, okay, I see a little history in this lesson. Now, you can always find some history because history is a written record of the past. So you always find, anytime you study the Bible, that's going to be history. So when we look at this stuff right now, I said, I'm parallel witness. And the first thing I see is that, and my English will go and come out, that's that prefix. Prefix, that's English right there. You all know, I know what the English is. Yeah, I know the English too. I love math, I love history, but I love the English. That's that prefix, which means before. Here we go. So if we said before, and this is a parallel, and a parallel that means a witness, and a parallel means somebody coming before when you go to the Bible. So look what we're talking about. We're looking at John. John. He's an unparalleled witness. He came before Christ, and he preached about who? Christ. So this is the unparalleled witness out there. He's John the Baptist, 6 months. And if you begin to look at this thing, what it says that unparalleled witness, and begin to talk about John the Baptist. I do believe last week Christ is leading from the Sermon on the Mount, and that was the problem right here. The problem was this man John the Baptist, he was something like us. You know what? He died in his first year. What you think about that? He baptized, and he said, this love, all that, and he still has some doubt. He died. John the Baptist. John was in jail, but he told his disciples. That's wrong, you know that. He told his disciples to go see about that thing. Was he really the man? What was the major problem back then? Sin is something else they had. They had no faith, and something else they had that they really were scared of. Who were they really scared of? The Israelites were scared of who? The Pharisees, the Sadducees, and most of them were scared of the Roman son. So what happened here? He wanted to know that really the Messiah. The Messiah, what was the Messiah supposed to do? Save us. If you go back to the Bible, every time God would send somebody, every time they get in trouble, they leave God, what he do? He would send somebody. So here's John the Baptist. Now he wondered, is this the man? Yeah. I heard about it, but is this the man that God sent? Now, what you think about that? He baptized this man. The dove flew up off this man. And then he said, here comes the Lamb of God. What did that tell me about John? John had a lot of doubt in his head, didn't he? You baptized, then he said the Lamb of God, but yet he goes there, go see is that the man. He said his people see the man. And then, here we go. It says, I'm parallel witness. What's the first thing tell me about that?
Verse 7. And as they departed, Jesus began to say unto the multitude concerning John, what went ye out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken with the wind?
Look at him. I like this him. as they departed. Now, you know, people depart, and you know when people depart, you know they're talking. The multitude, they went out there, and they said, concerning this man John, we know John has an issue in him. What was John's issue? He was out in the wilderness. Look at the clothes that John wore. They thought John was white because what John was. And what really got me this morning, when I looked at that, that's not me being mad, but roll, I already looked on the opposite. I saw some numbers coming in. The first thing I saw, 4 words 3 times. Did you see 4 words 3 times? We just see one of the words, 4 words 3 times. And when I began to look at my number 3, oh, Lord, everybody gave me this 3. What comes to my mind is 3? The Father, the Son, and the what? Holy Ghost. And look what happened. We have the number 3, and God said this up 4 times. So if you say something 3 times, 4 words, that'll be 4. What was the word that he said? In the first one, he says what? What went ye out? What went ye out? He said that 3 times. So when I began to think about 3, if that's so important, then I went back to some of the people in the Bible. What I'm saying is that here, when I read about these men, no man never been what he said. The first thing he said, Job. Job was a right man and he was right. No other man was right there. Other man, Job. So then I kept on going. It said, David. David was a man of what? God's own heart. No other man. And then I said, if that's Job, that's David. Then I thought about what it said about John the Baptist. No other man born by a woman greater than John. How many men is that? 3. And then I got my 4 men. You know, I'm looking at my number, I'm looking at number 4. The 4th man I got was John, the Apostle John. What did he say about Apostle John? The man, a disciple that who? Jesus loved. You won't find that by no. Find that but those 4 men right there. How many men? 4. How many times did he say? 3. So then I looked at my 3. So I looked at 3. The first thing I come back, I looked at 3 words. The first thing he said about when Jesus on the ship, how many words did he say? What was the word? How many words? 3. Okay. Then I thought about what Pastor said the other night. Oh, Peter. How many times did old Peter deny? Look at that. That's my number 4 times. That's my number 3. So I kept on going. Oh, Peter denied 3 times. If he denied 3 times, that was 4. Then I went a little further. I went to Jonah. What did old Jonah do? How many days? 3 days. I kept, you know, I kept looking for numbers and I like no. So then I said, okay, that was 4 and that was 3. Jonah, all right. Then I kept on moving. I said, I thought about all that. How many days did that take days? 4. I said, which number that? That's the number 4. That's the number 3. I kept on calling the numbers like that. So then I moved a little further. I said, now here we go with the number 4 and 3 numbers. That word got to me when I saw it. 3 times, 4 words. So I didn't stop there. I got to one more that I'm going to get to. When I got to that last one now, that's what's going to really get me when I got to this last one. And then read the next example.
Verse 8. But what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in king's house.
What's the second word? How many words is that? What the question says? What went ye out? Is that the second one? That's the second one. You went to see him. Why would you go out and see this man clothed like that there? They said, okay, this man is not clothed like a king. The soft clothes means he kind of dressed nice, but John was out in the wilderness. John didn't have those soft clothes like dressed nice. Look what John had on him. They didn't accept that. So he said, so what went ye out? You know, he keep asking him a question there. First question he asked him. Then he come back and ask him again, what went ye out? You know how we are. What does that tell me? Did some of them go to really see John? I think they're going to be what? No, they're not. You know, they got a wild man out there, child. What's it? A wild man out there, and what? I want to go see him. Why you want to see him? I know something wrong with that man. That's us. They had the same problem, us. Then the reader, when they said that about the Romans, what the nation tell them?
Verse 9. But what went ye out for to see? A prophet? Yea, I say unto you, and more than a prophet.
What is that again? What went you ye out? That's how many times? 3 times? How many words? 4 words? They said what? What you go out there to see? You went to that prophet, huh? Oh, no. This man you went out there to see, he is more than a prophet. So I guess that's kind of what the line is. I went to see him. He looked the way he looked. And then I read about that he's more than a prophet. What is this man talking about? He's more than a prophet. John was more than a prophet because it's going to tell us why he said John was more than a prophet. Now, when you go back and read about this, they wouldn't expect John. Who they knew about it? Who wants to know about maybe life? You know, they called him Bishop. That's what they expected it. But what he said, this man John is one of the great prophets. No. Now, you know, when you say the greatest, where else did you go? Nowhere else. E-S-E, is, that's it. You can't get no greater than that. And he said, John is the greatest prophet that is born by a woman up until that time. What time are we talking about? Let's go back. Then this one, up until that time, the time was before John, he had all kind of prophets. But now, John is the greatest prophet up until this time. This time is someone comes greater than John. Who is coming greater than John? Ain't no Christ. So at that point, John was the greatest man. Now I told you about the 4 men. Everything I told you about the 4 men, nobody else died, nobody about but those 4 men. And here we are now talking about that great prophet John. Read what the next chapter.
Verse 10. For this is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee.
I like it. It says, for this is he. Look at it very much. He's the one. He's the one that you read about. Because you know the people there, they studied the Bible. But they had the Pharisees and all truth on them, so they kind of knew the Bible. But he said, this is the one. When I read about that, this is one, I had to go back to Malachi. This is what Malachi told him. Malachi said, 3:1 to his people, behold, look, which means I send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. Malachi told that. What happened? 400 years. They didn't get word. Malachi closed his book and he told them, someone was coming. And they thought, who's coming back? Eli is going to come up from the grave. They thought he's coming back. And they probably had the line and said, look at old Eli, he done come back. What is he doing? He out there preaching. That was not Eli. Who was that? John. He told him, I am prepare a place. There he comes. He's preparing the way. Now, who is he preparing the way for? Coming behind him. Oh, John, that forerunner preparing the way for him. Look what it tells us like that. Malachi told them 400 years. Can you imagine? 400 years, they didn't have word of Christ. God. And during that 400 years, what you could say, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, all the folks came and rose up. Because they didn't hear from God. He told them, right, no more. And what happened? Everybody got their own thing. Now, if you look at today, everybody's still doing their own thing. And we know that, right? And they still want to do their own thing. What do you think about that? Can you point your finger back? You can't do it. Because the same thing is happening when? Right now. So we do the same thing they were doing. But it says somebody was coming. Now what we know, that they don't know then, we know he came. But they didn't know that he was coming. But we say that he was coming, but we know that he came. And who do we worship today? Christ. We worship one that John prepared the way for. And then, before I got to my last one, I thought about all the people that I'm talking about earlier. There were 3 folks. Now that was one. He got something that nobody else can do. We know who that was. Christ. What did he do? He died. Not only did he die, but what I like about it, he stayed dead. How long did he stay? After another 3. And then, what did he do? He rose. Then somebody said, well, you know, Lazarus, he rose. Who brought Lazarus back to life? Christ. But what I like about that, not only that, but Lazarus was brought back by Christ. Lazarus got up by Christ. Christ died, and Christ got up. But I began to look at those levels. You know how people can think, well, he wasn't on somebody. You know, if you go back, the person that I'm talking about now, everything that Jesus done, he did it in the Old Testament. So this leads up to the New Testament. What was Lazarus? Lazarus located in the what? Old Testament. But what I like about Jesus died in the Old Testament, but he rose what? In the New Testament. What did do? Lazarus died in the Old, and Lazarus rose in the what? No, Lazarus died in the Old. He didn't rise in the New. When did the New begin? When Jesus died, and then he rose. So Jesus on somebody died in the Old Testament, and he rose in the New Testament. Now tell me somebody. Now if I'm wrong, I'm gonna sit down. Somebody tell me somebody did it. I must be right. Nobody else did. Nobody who you look at. So he did it. Nobody did him. So he rose. I like that. I mean, 3 days. Lazarus 4, Jesus rose. Nobody brought up with God. Then when I got to looking at that thing, I believe the next one said, what, read it?
Verse 11. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there have not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he.
Look at it. He said, greater than me. Truly, there's no one born of a woman greater than John the Baptist, except, who did accept? Christ. But up to that point, no one greater than Christ. Then I kind of like that Bible says, least in the kingdom. Now here you say, he is the least in the kingdom. Of course, let me know that. John was saying Christ was born, come after him, but yet he came before him. He came before him, yet he came after him. What's that saying? In the beginning, and who was the Word? Christ was the Word. So that lets you know he was there from the beginning. That's what John said. He was there before me. Now here you come what? After me. I got that. What is it? He prepared the way for him. For who? Him. That's what John said right there. He said he's the least in the kingdom, but yet he is the greatest in the kingdom. He's talking about Christ. Christ. Who is greater than Christ? God. His Father. Greater. But other than that, James, he's talking about Jesus. Look what we're saying there. When you talk about greater in the kingdom and greater in the kingdom, there's none greater than God, and that's who? Jesus. So what we saying? He is the least, but yet he is greater. Greater than who? Greater than John. Ain't that something? I'm born after John, but yet I'm born before John. Now here I am greater than John. I read it. Look up for the next one. Our question. That question says, what had John the Baptist done to earn and receive this tribute from Jesus? What did John the Baptist do? He prepared the way. In order to prepare the way, and then he got that tribute from Jesus because he let him know who was coming. One greater than him. John out there preaching his heart out, but he let him know that somebody come behind me is greater than me. He had his people letting him know it's not me. I am preparing the way for somebody greater than me, coming after me. And I kind of like what John did, but now some of us, what do you think we do? We want to take the credit opposite. It's all, what's that mean? We would. It's all about me. You know, I tell you, watch people when they say it's all about me. You have to watch those people that me, mine, and who. You watch them kind of people. They got a problem. When you got me, mine, who left out of that? God. Jesus. You leave them out. A lot of people leave them out and put themselves in. But John has enough to know there's somebody coming greater than I. When you respect God and give him the glory, not you, Whatever you do, give it all to God. And I believe we got another three. What we got? Resisting the kingdom.
Verse 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force.
Look what was happening. All this was taking place. 400 years, all this was taking place. It's all that violence taking place there. What do we have in the world today? Violence. All kind of violence. When you read and you look on the news, what do you see? Nothing but violence. Everybody want to do something to somebody today. Everybody. So all we see in this world is just violence. All they saying back there was said, John, you tell that was the violence back there. The same violence back there, we're doing the same thing today. What gets me is that we supposed to know that. But what do? We kind of like doing worse. We know better. It said if you know better, you're supposed to do better. But I'm looking at we know better, but we do worse. But that's not what it's going to be right there. And read what the next is telling.
Verse 13. For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John.
Everybody before John were prophesied. What was they prophesied? That Jesus is coming. All the old prophets were telling them Jesus is coming. Everybody. And now what happened? They still didn't want to believe. Because if they believe, what happened? Jesus would have come. But what happened? They still did not believe. All of them kept telling them. All the old prophets kept telling them, Jesus is coming. The Messiah is coming. Remember, they want the Messiah to come. But what do they want the Messiah to come? They want the Messiah to come and rescue them from the Roman soldiers. But that's not what this Messiah was coming from. What did he come for? To save them from their sin. So that's the biggest thing to rescue you from your sin. They knew that. All the Messiah was prophesying that. And here comes John telling the same thing in the wilderness. Can you remember in the wilderness? When you look at that word wilderness, what's up in your mind? Wood? Children of Israel. How long did they stay in the wilderness? 40 years. And look at him. John out in the wilderness. You know, wilderness is a bad place. And John out there preaching in the wilderness. And as John preaching in the wilderness, and we got this nice church. Where the people there? Oh, at home. And you know they're at home today because today is what? Super Bowl. And what time is Super Bowl start?
5:30.
5:30. I'm at home preparing for the Super Bowl. Wait a minute. The game doesn't start at 5:30. But he said they took it out. They started early so they can ready for the Super Bowl. So if John out there in the wilderness preaching, we don't have to be in the wilderness, but we're doing the same thing. We don't want to be right now. We don't want to accept God. And you got all this nice comfort church. And here we go. I'm about to keep it back there. John was trying to do what we're supposed to be doing. Bringing somebody to Christ. And read what we got for the next one.
Verse 14. And if you will receive it, this is Elijah, which was for to come.
What does that tell me? They know about Elijah. They thought Eli was coming back. So if you receive when Eli was coming back, it was John. If you think that was Eli, what do you want to do? You accept that. If you think that was Eli, I want you to accept that. But if that was not Eli, who was that? John. But he was trying to make a parable that if you think that was Eli and you want to accept Eli, but this is not Eli, you still can accept it if you want to accept John. Because John does the same thing that Eli doing. What is that? Preparing the way and telling you about Christ is coming. So if you believe what Eli will tell you, John is telling you the same thing. So that means you need to accept what John telling you. Because he's preparing the way for Christ. What's the next you have here?
Verse 15. He that had ears to hear, let him hear.
If you have ears and you listen, what do you need to do? Well, the thing about ears to hear, what do you need to hear from? Hear from the heart. When you hear from the heart, then it reaches the what? The ear. Hear from the heart. So if you got it from the heart, that you hear somebody telling you about God. John was preparing the way, telling them about who? Christ. So if you hear that, and he preparing you that, what you need to do? listen to that and accept what he's telling you. If you're going to accept it from Eli, you need to accept it from John by him. Because it said, if you have ear, hear the word. And we know that we hear the word of God through our heart. God speaks to the heart. When he speaks to the heart, that's how we begin to hear God. So if your heart is not clear, that lets you know God is not speaking to you. If you know the things that you shouldn't be doing out here, God is not speaking to you. But if you hear the word of the Lord, you need to do what the word tells you. He was telling them, if you hear John telling you that he is coming, somebody tell you, Jesus is coming. We've been hearing it all our days. Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming back. So if somebody keeps telling you that Jesus is coming back, what you need to be doing? Preparing yourself. Keep your house in divine order because Jesus is coming. And it says, I believe Slim said he's coming soon. And but we don't know how soon. Since you don't know how soon, what should you do? Every day you should live like your last day. Because it could be your last day. So that lets you know that Jesus is coming. That's what John was saying. Jesus is coming. We know Jesus is coming, and he's coming soon. Now, when is that soon? We don't know. But you be ready. I think the song said, be ready. Because he's coming again. He came one time, and he's coming back again. This time, it's going to be definitely coming. But we got to prepare for that now. Go ahead. We spoke about red light. Don't force nobody to come to Christ.
That's right.
Let them come on
There
their
you
own.
go. There you go.
Once you tell them, and they don't accept it, what he tells the disciples to do, go into. If they don't accept you, don't try to force it because God got all power. If he wants that person to come, he will. You don't have to do it. You know, a lot of times you tell people about Christ, you pick up anything because you tell them what's right. Folks don't want to hear what's right. They don't want to hear what's right. When you tell somebody what's right, they don't want to hear it. So the best thing when you tell them, move on. Don't try to force nothing.
That's right.
You can't even force that on child. So why you gonna try to force something wrong with? It's right.
They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it.
And that's what I say all the time about prayer. People cannot stop you from praying.
No, it's okay.
Because I can look at you if you're praying all the same time. But you can't stop prayer. You can't take prayer out of school. Because prayer is in who? Prayer is me. If I got prayer in me and I'm talking to God, you can tell me all you want to. Oh, I'm not praying what you're saying. I'm praying while you're talking. Because God is in me. When you got that there, that's what I'm praying. Because God is in me. I said, don't force nobody to do anything on that. All you do is tell them and let them accept it. If they don't accept it, you done too far. Move on.
There you go, right here.
Yeah, get that. Yes, oh, yeah, I like that. All right. Where we at?
Verse 20. Then began he to upbraid the city wherein most of his mighty works were done, because they repented not.
Look what it said. They resisted. What was she saying that the lady did? She was resisting Christ. Resisting faith. I don't want to accept what you're telling me. You know, that's the thing about that. I accept everything else, but when it comes to God, I'm going to resist that. Why should you resist a man that woke you up this morning? Tell me. Why would you resist a man that got you where you are right now? So I'm going to resist what you're telling me about him. I'm telling you about him because I know what he done and I know what he can do. And what says that? they began to upgrade the city. What did upgrade mean? They didn't want to accept what Christ was telling them. Upgrade. When you look at that word down, they didn't want to accept what he was telling them. John was telling them about Christ, and they was uproad. They didn't want to hear that. Why? Because he telling them what, right? And he telling them somebody come behind me, but they didn't want to accept it. Because John was telling them that in that city. And read what the next chapter.
Verse 21. Woe unto thee, Chorazin! Woe unto thee, Bethsaida! For if the mighty works which were done in you have been done in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented long ago in sackcloth and ashes.
When he destroyed those two cities, they didn't know Christ, those two cities. But he told them, if they only knew who he was, they would accept Christ. You know Christ, these two cities here, and you don't want to accept him. Those people there, they didn't do that. They heard about him, but they didn't want to accept him. Here you right here, you know about Christ, and you still want to accept him. And I'll be that next one, tell them a little something about it. What is tell them the next one?
Verse 22. But I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon at the day of judgment than for you.
I have more patience with those people than I have with you. Why would that? Because they didn't know. You know. So that means I have less patience with you if you know it and you still do wrong. If those people only knew who Christ was, they saw him in the flesh and they still didn't want to accept him. But those people there, they didn't see him. They did everything they wanted to do. And what happened there? You know better, and you still do. I hear people say, if you know better, we say you're going to what? Do better, but what do we do? We know better and we do what? We do worse. He's telling them, those people didn't know. But now that you know, I'm going to have to put you in ministry. Now, isn't that bad? Your parents tell you something, and you know that they tell you what's right, and you decide you're going to do wrong. Isn't that something? That's what he's telling them. You don't know, but they know. And you still gonna do what you want to do. So, parents will let you know that. This tells us the same thing right here. And read it, what the next tell.
Verse 23. And thou, Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained unto this day.
The sin is what he had. Look here, you having a good time.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? That good time is going to bring you down what the rest of just like you decided for life. He said, I know you up there now. I asked you up there. But if you don't do what he says, he's going to bring you down just like he did Sodom and Gomorrah. What did he do to Sodom and Gomorrah? He destroyed. And that's what's going to happen here. He said, yeah, you up there now right now. And I think that's how some of us feel. We feel because we are Christians, we way up there, and nothing's going to happen. But that's not what this tells us. You up there right now. But what that tells us, he can bring you down. Because you're up too high. When you get too high, that's a problem. What's the problem? You leave God. You take God out of scenario when you get too high. And you can get up there, but the same way you got up there, he can bring you down. He just made a point right now. The city, Capernaum. That was God's city right there. But he brought it down and said, are you up in here? I'm going to bring you down here because you got too high. When we get too high, we always forget about God. No matter how high you get, you got to remember who got you up there.
That's right.
What happened? When we get up there, it's all about who? Second. When we get to that point. This is not what he's telling you. When you get up there and you think stuff got you up there, I can bring you down here. Lower than you would. Somebody said, you never had a whoop until you get whooped by God. Now, when you get whooped by God, Mama can't help you. Daddy can't help you. The preacher can't help you. Auntie, nobody can help you when you get whooped by God. When God whoop you, you'll wear whoop. Sometimes when God whoop you, you don't realize what happened. Why is God whooping you? Every time I look around, my head to the ground. I just can't get up for nothing. I just try to get up, and every time I try to get up, I go right back down. What is God doing? God is whooping you. Now, when that time comes, when God God begins to lift you up, you'll know that. But when God get ready to put you, it's nobody in this world to put you. All the money in the world can't help you when God get ready to put you. So you don't want to never get pushed by God.
All right.
Because he said he chased them that he loved. So you don't want to get chased by God. Because that's what you think mama whooped you, you get whooped by God. And read it, what do we have? I hear this sign.
Verse 24. But I say unto you, that it should be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for thee.
It'd be more tolerable, brother. Yeah, for God, I mean. Because when he come in, he brings his wrath.
Oh, yeah.
If God brings his wrath, there's nothing you can do about it. Think about Sodom and Gomorrah. If they only had an exception. But look what was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. When he came along and what he did, he destroyed them. They told me in that land out there, nothing would grow. Nothing. It's still just like before. Bang. Destruction. So when God come in, God let people know. I believe he came in. Let me look. Talking about California, all that fire. And look how they want to do that fire. All the hurricanes sometimes, that let know that God begins to move and coming in. And when God come in, man have nothing to stop him. Because God has all the power. If he has all power, you can't stop what God doing. So he said it's better to serve me right now and let me come in. Now when God come in, you'll know it. Nobody but God. And I believe that's a question. The question says, what is the next rationale some Christian offer a casual refusal to believe God or trying to repent from his sinful habit? What's the problem like this? Why some people don't believe God? What's wrong with that? Why they don't want to believe God? They don't, that's word like that. They don't want to repent. What does repent mean? Turn away from. You know, I'm having a good time out here doing what I should be doing. It's kind of hard for me to try to work with that. What are you doing? Well, I'm out here having fun. If I say having fun, bro, what kind of fun am I having? Doing what I want to do. I got a wife over here, and I said, what? My side piece over there? That's having fun. You know, I spent half the night with you. I spent half the night with her. That's what? Having fun. I get me a little lip. I get a little tea. That's having fun. All this stuff is having fun. I'm running around all the time. Hair all laid back, cruising. I'm having fun. On Sunday morning, where am I at? In church? At home one on Sunday morning. What is it? I'm having fun. You know what? That's why you don't want to repent. When you repent, you're going to have to work from that fun. Then you're going to change the mood. You know, I realize I'm having this fun now. When you in God, and God is you have all the fun you need. And what I like about it, the fun I'm having is having that God knows that fun. And God leads me to have that fun. I'm just happy every day I get up. I don't have to run around to be happy. Because I know God makes me happy. All the fun that I thought I would have when I was young, that was fun. I'm having fun right now. What's my fun? Peace of mind. Yeah. I wasn't having fun when I thought I might have somebody on the middle jacket. I had somebody on the jacket. I thought I was having fun. I wasn't having fun. All I did was spinning the wheel.
Happy birthday.
Miss Rascal, he said he was spinning the wheel. She done keep on being weird, you gonna spin our numbers. You're gonna spend a lot of wheels Friday. Why? All right, let's get back to that. I like that. Now, since we got that there, and this, this black history month. So I thought I'd go back and give you all the old black history. Like, all right, Miss Jennifer, give us this old black history song. And this song here, I believe it says in 1976. That was the month. They gave a whole month of Black History. So this song came out 10 years later. Change is the law. Yes, it will. Yes, we have to solve. I know we need. And he's sure had a try. Yes, it will. And he's sure had a try. I know it will. But the Lord will get there. They got to be strong. I give you the whole thing going to wow. And I think just you must have. Just look at the people. Just look at the people. What they do. Oh, Jesus. John, look again. He's so great. Yes, it is. And I know that way.
What was they doing? Standing. What was our lesson this book? Stand up. So that means they were standing at the journey. Got to be tried. Your trial is coming. You need to be prepared and stand up. What I tell you this morning, if Christ does something for you, stand up. Let me see. I don't get you done nothing to nobody because I don't see nobody standing. Stand up. Does something for you. There you go. Stand up. The lesson about stand up. So that's stand up kind. That's good, boy. I like that.